not the time for 100 episodes. And, between you and me, with all the fraction episode numbers and all that, I'm either well past 100 episodes or not quite 100 episodes. So that maybe this is not even episode 100. But woo! Thank you for eventually coming to this episode years from now. These are the simpler times that your grandparents were telling you about. Before the after, before the after, but before the times. I'm kind of churning out non-fungible tokens of woodcuts for a experiment in non-fungible tokenizing. I want to see how they do. I'm going to sell them. We'll see. This is modeled after Lindward woodcuts, and it's self-portraits of the Big Sleep AI. I was looking at the feed of OpenSea and noticed that, oh my god, here's this other cat, here's this other cat, here's a block person, and there's very small variations on them, and I was like, oh, come on, stop with there's so many of you. And I thought, well, what if I do the same thing, but I cause Big Sleep to do one thing 100 times? Will it be little tiny variations of it? I noticed in seed, I think this is seed 100, seed 99. This image is frequently happens. It's like one of its go-to images, and it makes for interesting framing and all that. And I thought that was kind of a perfect seed number to have it do. So it's pretty much all I'm doing once an image is done is I'm saving it, I'm doing runtime, restarting and run all, and all the conditions are the same, and it's just doing different randomized things with it that it's doing within these parameters. So the variety has been astounding, and it's all in the form of woodcuts. So basically, because I always wanted to see what this digital entity would be creating analog stuff, and woodcuts sounds like very wasteful. But Big Sleep is doing it digitally, so no trees are being killed. Just coal. No, actually, not even that. That's not so true these days. But I don't think. So let's. So in terms of the left side of the screen, I figured let's do a world. I've made multiple worlds over the course of months. I haven't really inhabited them all that much. The beginning prompt is really bursting with possibility, and so it asks you what genre would you like your world, and so I started with I did here's dark, here's fantasy, here's steampunk. Alright, but I go, well, what about meta-bibliographical social science fiction? Or children's digestive allegory for living. That's a kind of a love language world that me and my ex created over the course of our many years of exitness, of watching TV and snuggling and saying these things. Then there's Tweaker Comedy, because, there used to be a counter to Starlight Comedy. Let's see. And then there's Infectious Educational Primer, modeled after the Young Ladies Illustrated Primer of the Diamond Age. Then there's Death Metalocalypse, which is a world where everyone's trying to make and destroy their album at the same time. Then there's, it's called Oligarch, Ensemble Coming of Age Dystopia. If combined, I guess the Big Easy with, I don't know, dystopia. Stand-up eschatology, by Brian Akers, LLC. And this is the one that we're going to go through, is from Mr. Show. I always keep thinking about the show and its title, Drogachusetts, which is modeled after any Sid and Marty Krofft children's show, which in the 70s, had some themes. You could, lots of shows had some themes in that time. So I decided to put a harm reduction spin on it. So it's potentially these children learning good decision making years in advance from when they actually have to make such decisions. Or maybe they have to make those decisions now. I'm not gonna force them. Hold on, let's save this one because this one is looking pretty done. I feel like I'm baking. I'm baking art. There's number 3. And then here. Yep, restart. And we'll do this 80 more times. So within this world, and here's some problematic things. This spurred my thoughts, spurred my imagination. It doesn't spur my imagination. Reese, it doesn't. If anything, it spurs me in terms of how to work around this category. Why do you have to make this the second category, the first thing you, and this thing that's actual genetic construct? Oh, here's this person again. This is like a second or third time this person is. It's very like David Lynchian Strega. So among the races are the cannabinoids, the sentient plants, the opioids, of course, the benzos, the stimmy, the downs, the hallucinogen. There's just 3 of them. That's all they need. And Dr. Mysterioso, who is Marlon Brando, I guess. And then it's class, another imagination spur. I have made the chefs, the ones who cook, the counselors, the gurus, the ones that take your children and make them wives. Actually, no. It's hard. I hear it's hard for them to give you a certificate of loss, and sometimes they lose your address. Sometimes they get lost in the self or selves of others. Sometimes you get bizarre gurus who opposite what they say is the truth underneath. I listen from afar, but then make excuses to wash your hair if it comes near. Wow. Okay. The moose. I think they mean mule, but moose is just as good. Birthday box. Birthdays are a special day of your existence. They are a time of great celebration. Okay, buddies, like accountability buddies, triple buddies, and narcos. That's it for that. Factions. Lots of these are randomly generated. It's a big league. Stimmies are also a race, but they're also a faction. Bureau of Drug Control, Massachusetts Drug Abuse Council, the Good Drug Squad, the Little Helpers, Tranquility and Goodness. It's like, I guess, a Cracker Barrel. And then there's locations, like the Dream Zone and the Highways of Life, or the Shizzle Mizzle, or Lincoln, or Little Jessie Lake. I guess maybe it's for alcohol users. The Little Village of the Fluffy Bunnies, which is like the, I don't know, shooting gallery. Costa del Stimmies. I forgot about that. Good Times. I forgot about those. Okay, so now that that's done, characters, let's not make characters. Hide world info. Oh wait. Yeah, like it, yeah. Sounds safe for work. Play world. Let's play the world. Preparing it. Drugachusetts is a world of talking animals teaching children good decision making and harm reduction strategies through parables and decision trees. A land of both big and tiny. In the tiny worlds of many creatures and tools that help us live and thrive, and some that are not so nice but don't mean to be. Children will learn that not all is what it seems, but with a moment to think, achieve their dreams. Let's make the scary less scary. Onward to Drugachusetts. Let's see what the filters do. Just do a quick start, because I don't want to choose race. It's not what I signed up for. Hello, Strega. Strega with fingers for chins.
But guess what? Something has gone wrong again. Felix, one of your apprentices, has messed up the food. It's full of harmful ingredients that could hurt the children. They must take the food back to their parents. But they don't know who made the food. Will you be able to fix and identify the food quickly so that no children get sick? Or will you have to cancel the cooking show?
Perfect. Food, that's all. You are Arthur, a male chef in Good Time City in the Big League. You are a very skilled chef and are planning a cooking show where you can teach children great cooking techniques. You invite all the children in the town to come to your cooking show, but guess what? Okay, so first of all, okay, I will do my best, says the chef. Arthur begins by looking closely at the meal and comparing it with the recipe, and then gives it a deep inhale of its odors to determine if anything has what do you call it? Rotted. Arthur's assessment.
I will do my best, says the chef. Arthur begins by looking closely at the meal, and comparing with the recipe, and then gives it a deep inhale of its odors to it. Since everything looks normal, and the meat smells like there is nothing wrong with it, then hopefully it's just as good to eat. What will you do? You decided that you are going to try your best at this challenge. From what you can tell of the dish, it looks fairly easy. The Big League sure do like their simple cooking, But who are you to question? You read over the ingredients they sent you and think about how you would describe them.
You prepare yourself a single serving of the meal. Right. Arthur prepares himself
Arthur prepares themselves a single serving of the meal. Arthur eats the meal and waits for an hour. Thankfully the show isn't for another 12. It's tough waiting. Arthur's assessment of the taste of the meal. Well, it looks like it worked. It only took an hour for the food to agree with me, but I'm finally starting to feel better than ever. After another 2 hours, you would never think that you had eaten anything at all. Unfortunately, HAL is making sure all of the children who are going to watch your show get sick from the food as well. Gosh, that's awful. You were ready to throw up and nothing came out.
Variety of testing strips to determine poisonous material of food nature. You apply the strips to the food.
You pull out your mini food lab from out of your pocket. You have a variety of testing strips to determine poisonous material of a food nature. You apply the strips to the food. The Big League really made sure to have their bases covered and give you a kit like this. The strips will tell you properties of the food. Since you've already had the food and not gotten sick, they probably won't work. But just in case, Arthur takes some strips and dips them into the meat blob. Nothing seems to happen when they come in contact with it. The same goes for the other foodstuffs that were provided.
E. coli. Check. Salmonella. Check. Negative. Cryptosporidia. Negative. Antarctic chlamydia. Negative.
E. coli? Negative? Salmonella? Awesome. It looks like the food is safe from known dangers. You take thawed out some of the ground meat that the League sent you and start to brown it and boil it and mix it and beat it. You pour in some flavors and thickeners. You get your burners going and pick up a whisk, testing the temperature of the oil. It's just about ready, time to start cooking on it.
Has been done.
The student chefs have arrived. You have the kitchen nurses perform simple tests on the children in case one has been armed with biological material. So far nothing. Nonetheless, you'll keep them all here for observation. You keep cooking and plating the food, and in time everyone has something to eat. Everyone is served a small amount of the meat, but it's not too much that they'll get sick from overeating. The big league specifically warned you about people getting sick from eating due to bad food. Throughout the cooking, you relate to the student chefs what you are doing, and how you can see signs of certain infections, or ways to tell what to throw. You let them deconstruct some of the food on their own, and then together you all make a meal for everyone to enjoy. Students ask you questions and occasionally you answer, but you are soon distracted by two students arguing about wheatgrass.
Now hold up here.
Now hold up here, my culinary colleagues, what seems to be all the fuss about? You say, and they start stuttering out answers. Well, see, apparently wheatgrass juice has more nutritional value than actual cubes of wheatgrass. No, it doesn't. It does so. It has 7 times the same amount of protein and minerals. Wheatgrass is literally just grass before it's harvested. How can you get more nutritional value out of it if it doesn't have any to begin with?
You sigh and have to correct the both of them.
You sigh and have to correct the both
I feel
of
they're both
them.
wrong. Clouds.
Again, it doesn't have any nutritional value. It's the earth and the sun that provides that. And just looking at you two, one can tell you don't leave yourselves much time to exercise.
Oh,
You
God.
scold them, they're probably both budding genetics students. You make sure to point out their calorie-rich desserts and unhealthy snack choices to them on a daily basis.
This doesn't strike a chord with the student chefs who begin to think that you are a douche.
This doesn't strike a chord with the student chefs, who begin to think that you are a douche. How can you say that about wheatgrass? Wheatgrass is the future of food and you know it. Ah, these two again. You look at them, thinking about who to assign cleanup duty to. Your answer is neither. Let's ask the judges. They are led by a girl named Wendy, about 12 years old, with a crown of flowers in her hair and light brown hair.
Wendy happens to be from the wheatgrass lobby. Wendy, care to chime in about the wheatgrass question?
Wendy happens to be from the wheatgrass lobby. Wendy, care to chime in about the wheatgrass question?
Let's try and
They both start jabbering at her, and you notice the sway in her judgment. You won't have any of that. Let me put it to a vote, you say, interrupting them. Those in favor of the wheatgrass have a chance to call out wheatgrass now. The wheatgrass kids are a little surprised but begin to raise their hands, and you wave them down. And those in favor of wheat kernels say wheat kernels. Thus the wheatgrass and wheat kernel factions were born. You turn your attention elsewhere. But you soon realize that the two kids were right. Pretty soon, only the wheatgrass faction remains, as Wendy had an unhealthy obsession with wheatgrass juice and gave it to all the young plantlings. They won't listen to reason, so you're stuck eating an entire salad, something you never thought you'd see. The contents of the salad the kids made for you consisted of wheatgrass, wheat berries, sunflower sprouts, clover flowers, alfalfa sprouts, red clover blossoms, buckwheat sprouts, broccoli florets, cabbage pieces, carrot slices, cauliflower florets, celery slices, and onion rings. A whole rainbow of plants. The salad was dressed in a mixture of apple cider vinegar, water, honey and a light dusting of wheatgrass. They get an A.
For
For effort and technique, but a C for evacuation, meaning how the salad came out the next day in the loo. Drugachusetts life is weird, but delicious. You are Ranger James Kane, the head of a ranger station in northern Drugsylvania. You are tasked with safeguarding the forests and its inhabitants. Your two current apprentice rangers are Atara Moloch and Karen Buttercup. The name's not important, but this is. After a decade of trying to act as guardians without pulling the trigger, you finally give up on your cause. What could possibly cause you to have to shoot something? Well, a piece of construction equipment could, on the off chance that this became a new area for logging. You send your two rangers to inspect the situation. All is well. It is an old piece of machinery for felling trees, not a new one for cutting them down. But just by reading the machine's plaque, it sets off a catastrophe. The machine was manufactured in Statlia, India. Once again, rangers have been sent into battle.
wait, whoa, who are we battling?
Wait, whoa, we battling? No, we are not. This just means there's going to be some heated discussion about the environment, and possibly some calling each other names. Believe me, I've been through this before, it's just part of the job. You begin to make your way through the woods towards where the machinery is stored. An old logging road will get you there the quickest. Will the thing I feel I need to shoot be on that road? You are on your way back from the logging road when a deer steps out in front of you. It stares at you with large Bambi eyes, and you drop it with your rifle. It lays on the floor, still with a heartbeat, and you step towards it. A hunter typically uses her prey as resources, food, rugs, its skull for their home, etc., but this time is different. Why is it different? Oh God, why is it different? I think we know what's going to happen. You kneel down beside the deer, and put your finger on its chest. As you press your index finger against its breastbone, you believe about your family, your wife, Brenda, and your 2 children, a son and daughter. Your lips begin quivering as tears well in your eyes, then you blink rapidly as sorrow washes over you.
Well, my
Why am I tarrying over a suffering deer? Please make this make sense to me, a ranger, for God's sake. You fire your rifle into its skull, to end its life. An act of kindness, you feel a bit better, but still terrible. You hope that your friends will never find out what happened out here. Can you stay quiet about this? Stay strong? Stay strong? Why did you make me kill it? I never wanted to shoot anything. I never had it in my mind until you had to go narrate the whole thing. You pick up the deer and begin walking back camp. When you return, you see about 15 people standing around and sitting down, conversing. You need to see your family, Brenda and the kids. They are the ones that matter most. You rush over to your campsite and drop off your kill, then greet the rest of the camp. Okay, play it cool. No, don't play it cool. Limp a little. Smear a little blood on you before you go over there. Tell them you were attacked. They'll understand. Hell, most of them will love it and be impressed. Hey Arthur, did you see or hear what happened over here? You blush a bright red and can't look him in the eye. You take a deep breath. Yeah, I did. Couldn't miss it. It was horrible, that thing. Yup. Hospital. From the limb? I'm going to go sit down over here before I fall. I'm feeling a little poorly from that shot after all. Brenda looks at you with her big eyes. Honey, are you alright? I can get the camp doc over here to take a look at you if you like. Yeah, I'll be fine. A deer just jumped out in front of me is all. Can we just sit and talk for a bit?
Oh.
She goes over and sits with you, but you can't converse. You're too caught up in what you just did. Talking about the weather would be
copyrighted material.
difficult right now.
This is not
Hey
copyrighted
Arthur,
material.
what's going on?
This is not
What happened out there?
happening
Why were you
somewhere.
limping? It was Jennifer, your best male friend. Well, as close to a male friend as you can get at least. I wasn't expecting him to come over here either.
Hold on, work is texting. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream.